I think this is it. Yeah, I think we're going. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Today is the 20th of October, 2019. It is Sunday morning. We're looking at a rock here by the road, of which there are lots of rocks like this all over the place. I think these were formed during the formation stage between matter and non-matter, because all the universe, 2% is matter, and the rest is non-matter. So here's the sun up there. That's a proton. That's protonic non-matter, spirit energy, H3. Okay, basically, essentially H3. Don't know if it still is or not. But that is how it works. It's we're either neutronic. You're either a neutronic soul or a protonic soul, and that's just part of the same thing. It's just a different polarity. So if you have a different polarity, let's say today you're protonic. I'm not sure how these cycles work. We might be in and out of form and non-form. Our consciousness is non-form. It might be separate from the duality of proton-neutron, which is the same thing, just different polarity. And again, the bump out. So you have your bump out into the fourth dimension when the black hole is created from the proton, or from the neutron collapse of the proton. Eventually, well, it was a proton. There's a spark in, and it just gets more intense, the protonic energy or the H3, because as you know, all that energy coming out of the black hole recently at Sagittarius A proves this, that there's something going on in this specialized black hole, which is the great attractor, which seems to have more than other black holes. I mean, there's probably like the mother cell black hole, just like there's the mother cell soul proton, there's the mother cell antiproton or neutron. And the energy in between can be dormant or active, proactive or not, you know. Anyway, so come on. Isn't this a beautiful, beautiful tree, a bush here. Can't remember the name of it. I'll look it up. I'll do a Google search on it, on the photo search. But anyway, getting back to that proton-neutron concept. So we're either proton souls or neutron souls. The balance of which is interesting. We're not too sure if right now it's reaching critical mass, but at one time it probably balanced it. Probably at one time we were all protonic or H3 energy, and then we got caught up in a split, probably from entropy. So the physical reality is from entropy. And that's why it's an illusion, because our truth is probably within, deep within us. And it makes sense then. Everything makes sense, makes total sense. And nothing was making sense until I figured this out. For me, it was just one big mess of theoretical, non-fit puzzle pieces and endless Rubik's cubes of divided dimensionality, which is basically stemming from the fracture. Now, this is something I got to propose to you. This is something I have to propose to you, and this is what's really interesting. If we are protonic light beings, essentially, and that might change back and forth, I mean, through a cycle that we're unaware of, and that's the neutron star cycle, going into the black hole and then exploding back out, giving more proton, a specialized type, and the moon having this at one time H3 and still has a bit left on the moon because the moon was a proton plug. The proton plug was the very last remnant of matter after the Big Bang, and because it was saved, because it was covered in helium-3, and we were partially materialized and immaterialized. I mean, we were consciousness, but our consciousness was able to twerk matter more readily than it is today. So those people with the long skulls that could do those incredible feats with stone, well, if they weren't using some form of cement, mixed with stone to make it look like stone, then they definitely were using their mind power. There was no evidence. There's some evidence of tooling, yes, but what were they using? Diamond drills. Even diamond drills today, of our knowledge, can't do that. So what were they using? Some other form of energy that does not exist today. We have to put that out to quandary. And this whole concept of our lives changing with cycles. You know, the 25,000-year cycle, then there's a 250,000-year cycle. There's the astrological progression, precession, which is 25K roughly. And then there is the galactic center we go around, which is half a million, or a quarter million. Might be longer. I think it's longer, but I can't remember. Anyway, so there's these cycles that are always inner and outer cycles, and at the same time we exist. Apparently now they're saying that space is a black hole, which would make sense because after the Big Bang, think about what happens like ripples, but outward pushing ripples. And then we're caught in the kind of, I guess, the law